Share. Okay, so, years 5 to 7.
No, but I wish I...
I feel like it says a lot that it was only by years 5 to 7 that they'd actually do the Warner Brothers logo like the movies do. Though I suppose, to be fair, it did allow them to hide the TT Games logo in with Grimold Place. But anyways, we have the platinum in years 1 to 4, and the good thing about having the Harry Potter collection means that it comes with years 1 to 4 and years 5 to 7, so that's 2 platinums we can go for off one purchase. Load game, there's no save data, thought not. Without further ado, let's get into it. You save. Where the save thing for years 1 to 4 was Harry's face. Here it's Voldemort's, and we've got one viewer already. Okay, you're very funny, Dudley. This isn't me. I have nothing to do with this. Okay, so really wants to do everything in my power. really wants to do everything in its power to make sure that Harry does everything the Ministry basically wants him to. Because at this point, really, the Ministry refuses to actually listen to three things: Dumbledore, Harry, and their claims of the return of Voldemort. It's a very valid claim, specifically because of the trophy we ended the last thing on. On the years 1 to 4 platinum. Guessing that's all that is. Right. But yeah, I should pull up chat so that I don't miss anyone commenting.
Sure.
Right. Right, Dudley. So, from what I remember of platinuming this on PS3, there is an extra red brick that gives everyone the strength to pull orange handles. And if that existed in years 1 to 4, I'd imagine that there's quite a few people who would have appreciated it there and then, because, well, the abundance of strength potions that all those handles require. Right. Dudley. Though, because I bring up my pastimes on PS3, it says a lot that I see a bunch of stuff for the new spells, and that says a lot that and yet I can't do anything about it because they come later. I get to play as Duddykins. Thank you very much. To be fair, I think there's a deleted scene in Deathly Hallows Part 1 where Aunt Petunia actually kind of reconciles, like, and reminds Harry that he didn't just lose a mother that night in Godric's Hollow. Wait, so you have no spells? So the game doesn't let you keep the stuff you learn in 1 to 4? I suppose we'll find out more once we get to Hogwarts. But, if you know what a few of the things to look out for are insofar as, like, the new spells we'll be learning, you'll kind of understand why they do that. But there is one spell that I would appreciate to see carry over, especially since Cursed Child also had a pretty interesting flashback regarding Petunia, where she and Harry visit Lily's grave together, but it's dismissed as a dream in that same story. Apparently she's not allowed to have any depth. A little bit of a shame, I agree. That is, if that's what you're trying to say. Because, well... all the movie says about her relationship with her sister is Snape's theory as to envy over her sister being special and her being ordinary, which is admittedly fair, but at least but then you have the book, which is like oh yeah, those fun stair building segments from the Clone Wars. Yippee! Expecto Patronum! Expecto Patronum! Oh shit! Oh. Bloody Dementors! Oh. Oh shit! My condolences to all the younger siblings. Expecto Patronum! My condolences to all the younger siblings who had to play Dudley in this level. that is fair, because I mean, once you get to free play, Abracadabra! Yeah, once you get to free play, you may not get all the spells you learned and when coming back in story mode, but yeah, Harry gets some pretty good stuff. Wait, does Dudley have any abilities? Is it like one of those levels like Rescue the Chancellor where you play as a nothing character? No, actually, he gets a lot of they included Voldy's fancy suit, OMG. I know, and it's actually a trophy in the, oh good. On the Vita, there's actually a trophy for winning a particular duel in like the Dueling Club minigame as Voldy in a suit. There we go, Ravenclaw already. Oh. What went wrong with Tonks? Right. I know I complain about all the extra outfit characters, but I hope Sudi Mord is playable. Well, it wasn't the Vita, so, but then again, in, Tonks shapeshifting could come in useful, no? Theoretically, probably. But, put it this way, in Lego Batman 1 on the DS, I don't think that... I think that there were some exclusive characters. Weren't there, like, Huntress and stuff? Doesn't Tonks have super strength? Couldn't she shapeshift into a muscle mummy? To be fair, like, I know she appeared in The Mandalorian, but I can't for the life of me remember in what role. I know it was like the middle of the first season or something. Oh, speak of the devil. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if this game is just being deliberately an arse when it comes to throwing studs out of reach. Still, I mean, there are a couple of rooms left in this level. I mean, yeah, we don't go inside Grimmauld Place after we're done out here, but the Ministry. Shacklebolt has Reducto. Yeah. Now here's a quality of life thing that a couple people appreciated, not needing to switch to for real. I'm curious how Tonks shapeshifting is implemented here. Clayface doesn't seem to have the ability in Lego Batman at all. No, yeah, because it only really seems to manifest as his super strength and or his high jumping in Lego Batman 1. Anyway, he said Dudley did have useful abilities. What can he do? The only thing I know that he can do is super strength, which isn't especially helpful, especially since there's no trophy in this for getting kills with muggles. No. And there's also I think a red brick that gives everyone super strength even without a potion. But Well, for the early game, that's still something, says I. Anyway, because anyone who would object is out of the house, my mum brought me in to go through a marathon of all the movies, and we basically agreed that Shacklebolt might just be the coolest of like all the auras on the order. I just realized the Doctor isn't in this game. Who are you going to play as? The 10th Doctor mightn't be here, but the War Doctor is. Though admittedly, we don't get him until a very late level, like middle of Deathly Hallows late. Bam! Hey, Moody. All right. Well, you could get away from me, did you? I'll be the judge of that. Well, now for some reason they've mapped... Mad-Eye Moody has lost his staff. Oh, I can tell we've got to a wonderful start. I can taste the filler. To be fair, it's not as fillery as EA's Order of the Phoenix, let alone their Deathly Hallows Part 1. Because, well, put it this way, in EA's Order of the Phoenix, bam, bam, and we reveal Grimold Place. But... indeed, creature. So, hey, Fred, George. Okay, we're in the Ministry. Why is casting a Patronus in front of Dudley a big deal? Doesn't he already know about magic? Oh god, is Wizard Red back? He looks a little... I think only like a couple of them look as I remember, as far as Wizard Red is concerned. Though imagine if he was playable here. That is so cool. I hope Boy, Girl, and Milkman made it in too. Once we get into the free play, we're more likely to find out. Okay. Now, Arthur has a wrench. It says a lot that they're introducing, like, blue stuff to repair here. Wingardium Leviosa. We're actually making use of the flu network in the levels. Wrench. To be honest, I too would struggle to find good abilities in a Harry Potter game, since all wizards seem to follow the same magic system. Why not bring back this short character ability for house elves, goblins, and Flitwick? So basically anyone portrayed by Warwick Davis. There he was! White hair, red hat, everything. It is Wizard Red! Yeah, well, if they did implement the short ability, imagine how Warwick Davis would react playing like almost all those characters, like Flitwick, Griphook. Wait, there's a black version of Wizard Red? Did Lego turn woke? This is sarcasm. I wouldn't unironically use that word. Yeah. I mean, for as annoying as Culture War stuff is, Lego at least has the benefit of, like, well, given the way it works, it's going to be pretty hard to find a completely useless character unless you're deliberately trying to hide your usefulness, Palpatine. So for any ideology derived from, like, the same school of thought as that, this would probably be the video game representation of what they want. People do unironically accuse Lego of wokeness. There is a new Lego set featuring Mandalorians, and Lego made one a black man and the other a woman. People legit complained over that. Well, with the woman in particular, I see no issue because, well, Bo-Katan exists. Wait. I mean, I too hate that the culture war means that everything will now be scrutinized. Do we ever see that many traditional witches hats in Harry Potter other than the sorting hat? Everyone here seems to be wearing one. Definitely more so in like the first like few, like definitely in the first two, because well, Chris Columbus really understood what he was doing. Even if he had to give his daughter no speaking lines to just to say that he was abiding by Rowling's rule of casting by nationality. I do still feel like that there was at least an attempt to maintain that aesthetic. Yeah, but this is movie 5 when everybody wanted Chloe to be either hip and modern or muted and boring. What we're looking at is far more whimsical, and honestly, I like it more. Yeah, and I kind of get why, because I mean, well, put it this way. David Yates, who directed everything from Order of the Phoenix onwards, even into Fantastic Beasts, he comes from the field of television. Now, one might ask, what's wrong with that? I mean, Michael Bay came from the field of advertising, and yet he's got a very distinctive style, especially when he's given a lot of money to work with. But David Yates really, he doesn't feel like that he's grown out of the feeling of restrictions that television has given him. I mean, yeah, very funny, Umbridge. These films feel more like any other to be the product of like studios and producers rather than a director. Okay, that just looked cool. Lucius's 2010 headpiece and hair, but his 2001 torso. The evidence that the Dark Lord has returned is incontrovertible. He is not back. It says a lot that Umbridge was the only real identifiable name. Albus Percival Wulfric Brian Dumbledore. So it looks like we're getting trophies for every story mode level we complete. So so yeah, this is going to be a little bit different in how it gives us trophies, because especially through story mode, if that is any indication, here's what we found out about Dumbledore's "I was the favorite child" full name. But how do we know that Aberforth or even Ariana didn't have similar names? Or at least similarly long names. Wait, that whole thing was one level? It felt very disjointed. Oh! Well, insofar as like you had at least 3 or 4 different player 2s. I don't know. Right. So, out to the leaky cauldron. The trolley of death. Makes me wonder how many students were moped out by the candy levy before ever reaching Hogwarts. Hestia Jones. Right, so Hestia Jones, who even is that? I assume she's in some way connected to the Order. At least that's an actual character, I'd assume.
No, Hestia Jones is in the book. And I think she is. I'm not sure if it's connected to the Order or not.
Okay. So that way down to this. All right. Alright, it's bad as a red brick. Now hopefully this is collect ghost studs because, well, there's a reason why in years 1 to 4 they gave us that early on. And it is a gold brick detector. I would appreciate that more if we were doing free play right now, but we aren't. We're already at platform 9 3/4. Can Super Strength do anything other than pull those chains in the game? Look at the throwable London bus in the background. I'm not sure it does something as big as that, but I wouldn't be surprised if, like, picking up other minifigs wouldn't be too far out of left field. Look at that already, that devoted student in peril, already being in Hogwarts uniform, despite not even being there. Also, he gave you his lunch money. Yeah, because at least it made sense that you get a purple stud out of it. Out of doing any repeat students in peril in the levels in years 1 to 4. Right. For some reason, Ron and Hermione can't deploy their pets yet. Alright, is that 9 3/4 worker a muggle or a wizard? Is he actually employed by the train station? Well, put it this way. Remember the, oh, hey, Luna. If so, do the managers know about wizards? I mean, they deserve to. Well, Put it this way, you remember the conductor guy from Philosopher's Stone and Chamber of Secrets? They had planned to bring him back to the epilogue of Deathly Hallows Part 2. If for no other reason than to fully complete the idea that everything has come full circle. Well, we've got a station guard, so when we buy him, we can check if he's magical to answer that question. Anyway, we're not even 3/4 of an hour in, and we already have some representation of Ravenclaw, which, as a Ravenclaw myself, gives me some sense of satisfaction beyond being on board of seeing Gryffindors get all the spotlight. Then why aren't you playing as Luna and showing some house pride? That is... To be fair, it does say a lot that... You killed OG Flitwick, you jerk. To be fair, those red caps, I think you have to blast, I don't know what he was doing under that mushroom, but rip. It must have turned him into a red cap because I need to blast, how many is it? Look at the list. It's gonna be pretty far down given all the story trophies. Where is it? There's 30. I need to kill 30 red caps for a trophy. I said this before, but I much prefer OG Flitwick. He just looks a lot more fantastical. Later Flitwick is just some short guy. Not even clothes are interesting. How convenient that we have here Luna and Harry, the only two main named characters we have this year who can see Thestrals, right as we notice all these Thestral drawn carriages. Luna wasn't really introduced properly in Lego. Harry's just spending time with this blonde girl all of a sudden. It does. It is a bit sudden, which does drum up memories of how in the EA games, especially on PC and PS1. Also, fun fact, in the fan musical production A Harry Potter Senior Year, Luna is actually played by a movie actress. I suppose that does go on to prove why it was such perfect casting, so much so that of the movie actors that EA retained through their games from, I think, Order of the Phoenix onwards, Luna's was one of the most noticeable. What else do we need to get this Thestral drawn carriage moving? Okay, there's another wheel somewhere. Does the game keep track of every character and if they can see Thestrals? I'd imagine that would be such a pain in the ass to...
Well, you think about it. Harry sees his mother die. He doesn't see a Thestral until Sirius dies.
Sirius? Cedric,
whatever. Cedric was very serious.
Seriously. I am an idiot. Why did I not see that? Alright, let's get this show on the road. Yet again, we've got Nearly Headless Nick. Acting as our waypoint in and around Hogwarts. In the video game Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, Devilman's ultimate attack does more damage the more evil his opponent is. Meaning the game has to have an evil stat for all 150 playable characters. Well, how much time and money did that game have? Because, well, LEGO games, they churn them out on, as near as makes no difference, a yearly basis, or at least they used to. Because, I mean, yeah... Yeah, the Skywalker Saga is, and see if that is possible in a 2007 PS2 game. This game can have a see Thestrals, yes or no check. Well, to be fair, just to keep us from getting bored by Umbridge being Umbridge, right. Well, I love Umbridge's theme music. I mean, she's one of the most despicable characters, but her extreme pinkness is pretty refreshing from how dark and colorless these films get. I have no idea why. There's a bullseye, Draco. Harry in pajamas. All right. I mean, the dark color palette is, or the dark lighting at least, is appropriate for how grim it gets during this era, but oh, can we? Okay, so parcel tongue things work a little bit differently now. Now they're similar to now they're similar to things you need books for. Well, at least the map is, at least exploring Hogwarts is more or less as I remember. Of course, Umbridge is already going to town. Right. Thanks, Draco. You're very funny. Fudge. Okay. Wait. Did I just find a gold brick in the... Alright. I do like Umbridge's whimsicalness, you know, visuals and her music. Kind of reminds me of the first two movies. Okay, there has got to be a cauldron around here somewhere. Who's the guy with the annoying laugh? I'd imagine that that the annoying laugh is coming from Draco's. There it is. There's the cauldron. Alright. Oh, from cauldrons you can now choose the potion you want. Okay, here's my take. Give Lego Harry Potter 1 and 2 the exact same character roster, just with different spells and levels, with the important cast from all 7 books, and minimal filler. Bridge. So this counts as a lesson somehow. Even though all we get out of it is Umbridge being already establishing herself as the biggest nightmare Hogwarts has ever faced from within. I mean, there's a reason why what most people think of as lawful evil is so easy to despise. Kind of sad how much the Harry Potter games seem to struggle with finding interesting characters in 4 movies, when the Lego Star Wars game assembled a great roster from just 3. Well, as you said, it might actually speak to the age of these modern Western mythologies. Because and or the scale that the games are expected to come with over time. I suppose you can imagine it as a sort of like scale creep sort of a thing, where like no loading zone between these 2 bits of the castle exterior. And they've changed the angle through which we view the wooden bridge. Alright. So. And down through Hagrid's garden. Hey, Luna. Thestrals. Oh. Your feet. Are they cold? How does it... There we go. Also, what's funny is that in My Immortal, Umbridge is one of the very few responsible characters, despite still being portrayed as a controlling pest. Again, lawful evil. You write it right, everyone will hate it. Trust me. Ah. Alright. My Immortal Umbridge, called Rumbridge, isn't even lawful evil. She's lawful good / neutral, just annoying. Yep. Guardian Leviosa. I don't get the level structure in this game at all. I miss Lego Star Wars. In level 1, you're in the Lucre Hulk. In level 2, you're in the Naboo Swamp. I suppose that's kind of the price they decided to pay for focusing on more open worlds, which would of course lead to the incredible GTA-esque free roam design of Lego Batman 2, Lego City Undercover, Lego Marvel 1, that sort of thing. But, it did mean that we'd get what we have in the Skywalker Saga, where you can only relive so much of the story going back through free play. Whack! Boosh! What the? Luna. Hey, Thestrals! We're only a little more than an hour in and we're already at 10 gold bricks. We could be at a lot more if we really tried. Right. Does it bring me back to the dorms? The Ministry doesn't want you trained in combat. The DA. I was getting ready to assemble the DA. Okay. Crookshanks. Well, bam, Dean. I think I finally figured out why I wasn't a big fan of this movie. It was the first to not have a big, ongoing mystery. To be fair, Mark introduced me to Knives Out. And, put it this way, even in the British murder mysteries that my mom loves so much, I don't really think that hard about trying to solve the case ahead of the detectives. Which is funny because if I was put in charge of a Batman or Assassin's Creed story, I'd try to make him... I'd try to play up like a noirish detective angle. Yes, it would mean I'd have to focus on antagonists like the Riddler. because, well, there would be he's one of the characters where there's like a method to the madness, despite it very much being madness. And he makes no pretense about it. Like, Heath Ledger's Joker, he may not look like a guy with a plan, but he has to be in order to make the point he's trying to make the whole movie. Oh. Hey, Luna. So I look at this and go, has anything happened to this movie plot-wise, apart from the Dementors thing? I mean, it says a lot that because Umbridge refused to actually prepare these kids for war, that the end result was the DA. But that begs the question, would that mean that, would that make her, like, the best thing to happen to her? No, it's more of a silver lining, because it's much like the... we'll put it this way, when talking about classic Battlefront 2, I've heard a couple of English theorists talk about the mission on the Death Star in regards to, you know this old Chinese parable of this frontiersman that always waits to see if something is truly good luck or bad luck? Well, if they can apply it to the Battlefront mission on the Death Star, you can probably apply it to Umbridge here. Harry gets away from the graveyard and alerts. Voldemort returns. Bad luck. Harry escapes and is able to alert the people in positions of power to the danger. Good luck. The Ministry, he concerned with protecting itself, refuses to heed those warnings. Bad luck. Dumbledore does, and starts reforming the Order of the Phoenix as a countermeasure. Good luck. The Ministry puts pressure on Dumbledore from all sides. Where's the... including placing Umbridge at Hogwarts and promoting her to High Inquisitor. Just to make sure... just to give Dumbledore pressure that I hope he can cave to. Bad luck. But, as a result, the DA is formed, and Harry has a small-scale example of what it's like for Dumbledore running the Order by running the DA. Good luck. I don't get it. Why did Draco and the gang support Umbridge? Aren't they all power hungry? Wouldn't they want to learn useful spells? Yeah, you'd think, but, well... well, put it this way. At this point, for as much support as Harry gets from, like, the people he cares about, is that Aberforth? For as much support as Harry gets from those he actually cares about and publications like the Quibbler, well, there's still a fair chunk of everybody who's unsure of whether or not they should believe Harry, even among Gryffindors. But ironically, the Slytherins, no matter which version of history you look at, will never have this issue because, well, due to a lot of their parentage, many of them are very aware that Voldemort is back, but they also understand that pretending he's not is part of the plan. And so the Ministry getting W's on Harry is a bit of a win-win for them. It may not be perfect, but it gets them something. All right, book. All right. So. Oh, Bogart. Expecto Patronum! Pavati. How'd you like that, Ginny? The basilisk. Seamus? Hogshead. Yeah, I guess that is Aberforth. My parents didn't love me enough for a middle name, then gave them all to my brother's Dumbledore. Was he even in this movie? Off the beaten track, though. That's a trophy. Well, my mom pointed out there was a guy with a goat, and Aberforth's Patronus is a goat, so. So they might not have found the actual, their permanent, like, Aberforth, but... Neville. The room requirement. Alright. Susan Bones. All right. Revelio. Glad to see the director's daughter is back. And I don't even think he was a producer for anything from like Prisoner of Azkaban onwards, so she has even less reason to be here than she would like there. Hi. Welcome to the room requirement. Though to be fair, I suppose because he laid so much of the groundwork, it prevented Goblet of Fire from being a complete disaster. I love how the room requirement was shadowed in the book before. Pretty sure that... No, that's not a red brick, that's a character token. Daedalus Diggle. And this is... Oh, that's McLagan! I didn't think we met McLagan. Again, I'm guessing he's associated with the Order somehow. Dirk Creswell. Now, him I actually know. He was, like, on the run with, like, Dean and Griphook during Deathly Hallows. At least years 1 to 4 had the dignity to, like, to put stuff like something you could only blast with Reducto, or like, or something that required the dark side, so as to, like, more or less prevent you from getting character tokens before the characters themselves are introduced. even if just with a mention. Protego! Imagine if Dumbledore just hid the Philosopher's Stone in here. Imagine where Voldemort's instincts would take him. Wait a minute! Don't I have a Horcrux in here? Oh, battle droid parts in that training dummy, that is cool. Well, I don't have... Protego! Bam! Okay, so dueling. This is how every wizard boss fight is going to work, and we're going to get very comfortable with this, given that we'll need to... we'll need to, like, do certain ones with certain characters, like... Okay. So I think we can definitely say that writing romance and love triangles and what have you was not Rowling's strong suit. All right. Arthur. McGonagall. Occlumency. Legilimens. Yet, Snape being a wholesome father figure and taking Lily's son to the playground. I know. Maybe that's why... What if Harry didn't have enough ammunition to say not Slytherin? It's probably one of the biggest what ifs of Harry Potter. Especially since, say, like, the main story was redone as, like, as RPGs a la Hogwarts Legacy, maybe with a bit of, like, the calendar system from Persona. But it being a Western RPG means that POV, you're auto attacked and just watched how Lego Harry Potter got his first kiss and you haven't. Loneliness, especially in that sort of field, really hurts. Trust me. I know. I've had to deal with it for, as near as makes no difference, 25 years. I mean, with how successful I am at it, I wouldn't be surprised. I've started to believe that thing about how great girls only appear like every decade or so. So I have no idea. So I can't recall who I'd say the last great girl was. But I think I can pretty safely say that that as per that rule, I shouldn't be looking for a while, and a long while at that. But I really want to, and that's my problem. Right. Focus. Well, now in the hallway at Grimmauld Place. That is one thing I will give this the story of this year, because, well, if the goal is to emphasize Harry's loneliness, then I think it was very much achieved. So, I mean, Harry feels like he shouldn't. He should be let in on more of the picture more of the time. But was Wormy on that painting of the Marauders? Doesn't look like it. Maybe that's why he turned to Voldemort. He felt underappreciated. No wonder he betrayed them with how it always left him out. Exactly. Now in the room of requirement. Alright. I can see so much stuff I can do with so many later spells. If only Snape had more than focus. Shiny metallic objects can only destroy those with Vernon's shotgun. Alright. Now we're back in the Department of Mysteries. I'm surprised you're always playing as Harry with how you're getting a new player too every... Yeah, but... they're not always guaranteed to be snippety-stappety players a full set of spells since he's a teacher. If he did, I could switch between them all. I'm hitting the bumpers and nothing. Fine, but if I were playing this, I wouldn't pass up the chance to be the late great. I mean, yeah, he is certainly a national treasure. You know how often I'd play as Alan Rickman? Always. Bit too soon for that, but still, to be fair, not unreasonable. Alright. The way these studs bump out of frame. This game feels so lazy. The same locations we've just seen, and that same cutscene of Harry blinking. Wait, isn't this where he saw Pseudomort? Well, we know they have the Pseudomort model, because again, you can get him in the Vita version, and in the handheld versions, and on Vita, he's needed for a trophy in at least the dueling tournament minigame. No, to be fair, handheld PS1 through 4 had a couple of intrusions from Peeves, so Snape seems so cool now, but hope you're emotionally prepared for the tearjerker at the end of Half-Blood Prince when he kills Wizard Red. Imagine. Fun fact, the Hogwarts Express was painted in Wizard Red's honor. Alright. The prophecy. Okay. Attempt to resist. It's him! Pseudomort! No, it's just Voldemort, uninterestingly dressed. Did get Dudley's gang member and True Wizard and a trophy though, I'll take it. At least the first game had Baldy Quirrell. Like, Quirrell had a pretty nice suit. Yeah, no kidding. Alright. Heading down here. Heading toward Charms. Right, Diffindo. There's a lot of EA games. Defendo as a spell is available as early as, like, I want to say year 1, but I could be wrong, so... It would have been funny if there had been a cutscene with a gag where movie 1 Flitwick is hit by a spell and at the end of year 2 turns into movie 3 Flitwick. Movie Flea. Alright. The carving things out feels a lot quicker than they do in certainly a bunch of the Lego comic book games. Wrote a bit of foreshadowing today that I'm quite proud of. Described a family that won't be met properly until my next book. Right. Come on, you... And that's Defendo. Alright. So out of here. Oh, we can actually, for some reason, Defender, you can't get out here without Defendo. Feels strange because, well, Harry should have the Chosen One ability. It allows him to clear every level with True Jedi, a red brick, and all mini kits. I think we'd all like that. Way to make the collectible hunting, like, easier. Especially insofar as, like, trophies are concerned. Oh, there's collect ghost studs. Alright, Alright, I'm returning to Diagon Alley. We gotta buy that. So yeah, without Ilops, the red bricks have been moved here. Could buy the gold brick detector, but again, it's only really going to come into play much later, so do not want it now. Childhood is when you idolize milkmen. Adulthood is when you realize Dudley's gang member was right all along. Right, Crookshanks. There we go, we got Luna. Got another one. Childhood is when you idolize boy. Adulthood is when you realize girl was right all along. Crookshanks. Okay. Lumos. I think we can pretty easily if we cared, we could probably find a shame that Nick's gimmick can't really translate into Lego form. To be fair, in the handheld versions of at least years 1 to 4, they do have it so that ghosts can like phase through bars and stuff. So being a ghost wouldn't make you completely useless. Okay. Right. Hey, Sirius. It's him. Santa Claus. Kasu. Oh, very funny creature. Okay, if they have all these useful variations, but not not having this powerful, iconic wizard playable, I'll riot. Speaking of which, now you can unlock pieces to make Santa in the, especially since he was an extra toggle in Indiana Jones. And you could, and if you knew the right cheat codes, you could make him in the character customizer in Star Wars. But that reminds me, in at least the complete saga, have you tried to look around to see if there are any other like phase 2 clone variants that you could make? Just wait, that looks like Santa right there eating the cake, but it's black. The Christmas turn woke. Maybe I should sign off after this level, if for no other reason than to make sure I don't get nuked by YouTube for having views that I don't have. Christmas can't be woke. I don't want to spend it being considerate to less fortunate people. This is satire! I don't have these views either. I'm not saying that you do. I'm just... Sorry, man, didn't want to scare you off the stream. I'll control myself. To be fair, I'm not the one who'd be the most worried about it because, well, you're probably familiar with all the types that believe, like, that are, like, picky and choosy about what they're willing to believe, to accept as a joke, and what they aren't, based on how much they like or dislike the person. Having to navigate such a minefield is like... Why does Grimmauld Place have so many dark magic-only objects? I smell a traitor. Or maybe Wormtail put it here and it never got removed, I guess. That's what I'm thinking, because, I mean... Then again... Sirius's family was very much against him hanging around the other Marauders, especially James. Well, Sirius' family can rest at ease. Because Peter turned out to be an upstanding citizen in their eyes. Imagine if Peter was bloody Creature's master. Or maybe Sirius's family were the one who put the dark magic objects there. That's what I'm more inclined to believe. It's certainly the most reasonable and logical thing to say. Peter Pettigrew meeting Sirius Black's parents. Cheesed to meet you. You have to wonder if he'd do the full, like, Wallace when it comes to that. Alright. Invisibility cloak. So, we need an invisibility cloak to get past here. It feels a lot more powerful. Is that Sirius's mum? Might very well be because, well, yeah. Right, where's Hermione? Since she has a model, is she playable? I mean, I know she's dead, but come on, she makes more sense than half the character than half the characters you did unlock. Wait, they included the decapitated house elf heads in the Lego game? That's morbid. You're very funny, creature! Very funny, Well, now we get a wizard with full access to, as near as makes no difference to everything in their arsenal. As I didn't know Sirius was related to so many spooky, scary skeletons. Alright. Hey, Vegas. Yeah, of course Padfoot can dig. Serious. I got off lucky. My family is prone to a genetic disease where you're born without any skin or flesh, just bones. Alright, Reducto! Okay. Doctor. Why does Sirius have a student locked up in his house? That's a good question. Again, I'd imagine that's something left over from his parents. Alright, this goes in there. That gives Hufflepuff. Couldn't be. That student doesn't seem that old. He must have been one of the first to believe that... Was Sirius in the Malfoy files? To be fair, Narcissa is Bellatrix's sister, so... Oh, speak of the devil, there's Bellatrix herself.
Huh?
Yep. Original Order of the Phoenix. Bellatrix. Serious. My cousin Bellatrix is insane. I swear one day this woman is going to be the death of me. Did Santa eat that cake? 4 levels in and trophies are rolling in. And we got Arthur, so we buy him and we'll have a wrench covered. I think I know where to go looking for somewhere with a key, so we won't need to go specifically to Gringotts when searching. Did Arthur even have a wrench in the movie? He had a work shed, so I would imagine. Right, back to the room of requirement. Another door into the room, just to keep Umbridge and Filch on their toes. I keep saying it, but it still rings true. Shotgun Vernon would be the most fun character to play as, and he actually had a shotgun in canon. The one Hagrid bent in half. Expecto Patronum!
Oh. Huh?
Neville finding himself driven fight these Dementors. Or at least to progress really bloody quick. Lumos! Also, fun fact, Harry Potter never visits Azkaban even once in all the books or the movies. That film exclusive scene of Bellatrix breaking out is the first time it's been seen. And that says a lot, don't you think? Alright. Expecto Patronum! Okay, that's Neville. Alright. Luna. Expecto Patronum! Alright. Ronald. Expecto Patronum! Yeah, my book series isn't nearly as over-focused on the main character. There are many moments, even entire chapters, where he isn't present. Expecto Patronum! Okay. Hermione, she's got a book. So she can go here. Expecto Patronum! Give me... Alright. Arnold. Oh! Alright, last but not least, Ginny. Expecto Patronum! Who's Arnold? I'm sure I know someone who can tell you.
Huh?
All I know is that he's Ginny's summon. Bombarda! Draco. It was me. I did it. Right. Where to now? Cho Chang is the traitor in this version? Well, at least Hermione won't scar her for life. Yeah, it says a lot that in the books, at least, the contract. But I heard the book trailer is actually in the game, and for the longest time, This game is the only time she's ever been seen. Guess we'll have to wait and find out. Alright, Hagrid's. What is wrong with the centaurs? I'm glad the movies removed Hermione putting permanent scars on the traitor. It's too cruel. Also, that weird subplot where Hermione is the only one who thinks House Elf slavery is bad. Why do the centaurs have Dragon Ball hair? Well, it's another one of those, I suppose that's one of those cases where if only something drawn could look good in real life, like imagine Tetsuya Nomura or Shigenori Suejima drawing something that works in real life. Or at least character designs that would be appropriate for a fully real world aesthetic. I mean, yeah, Akira Toriyama, his late greatness, may be more or less responsible for why people even think that, but when you think of JRPGs he's been involved in, it's mainly Chrono Trigger and Dragon Quest. Hey, grow up. Down there, you big buffoon. Grow up, hey! I couldn't just leave him because, you know, he's my brother. My half-brother, really. No. Hagrid. Grumpy, that is not polite! We've talked about this, haven't we? You do not grab, do you? That is your new friend, Hermione. Grumpy! It doesn't look like this is a full-on level in on handhelds like Vita. Yeah, I got a question I don't think I should ask. It's about Hagrid's mum being a giant and his dad being a human. Well, they bring it up in the movie, so... Anyway, I'm looking at the time. I think even if I wanted to, there's not much longer I reckon this stream can go for anyway. Without it feeling too, like, excessive and stuff. Yeah, when Hagrid's brother needs a rubber duck, you know you're back in filth stuff. Again, because it's a full-on level on handhelds like PSP and Vita, it's going to feel much worse because then they have to fill it with mini kits and maybe a red brick. So, Ron, you just killed one of Sirius's relatives. To be fair, I think he still feared Sirius. Because, I mean, he was the one who Sirius, like, was jumping, because, well, Wormtail is sleeping with him. Grob befriended. 24 gold bricks. Grop! I suppose that he doesn't have, like, the context to have been filled with all those dreams of vengeance that Harry had. Ow. So we've got 5 minutes until we hit the 2.5 hour mark. If I can get even one more goal... Isn't this the longest book in the series? Could have found something more interesting than Grop's rubber duck, no? You would imagine, but... I've heard like 1 or 2 book experts say that the condensation of the movie was actually a little bit better for the pacings, and after seeing how the book handled the Battle of the Department of Mysteries, I definitely see where that sentiment comes from. Because I mean, if I didn't know better, I'd have thought that Rowling was thinking she was writing a Western style RPG with not just spewed like the year before, but also all those different subdivisions of the Ministry. Like, yeah, I get that. I get that's nice for world building, but oh, I know what's coming. Yeah, it's nice for world building, but it slows the pacing right down. You gotta love how Rowling wrote time travel out of the story, by Neville knocking all time machines in the world off a shelf. Oops! Neville tripped and destroyed all time travel. I guess that's why it's such a good thing that even though we may not have the 10th Doctor, we still have the War Doctor, even if he comes pretty late. But we'll get cracking back on with that next time. Thank you all for coming. 4 trophies this time. Pretty solid, so I'll take that. But yeah, I should probably sign off and get a wriggle on with the other things I should do today. Is that a ladle? Come on, Snape's hungry for soup or something. Is Snape hungry for soup or something? Come on, the man took you off to the playground. Get him something to eat. Yeah, well, it's not going to be pleasant for him next time.